Congratulations. This is again another fascinating award. It is the Digital Innovation Award, and with me is Rosie Edgley, Cancer Programme Manager, and Shida Tanweer, Senior Product Manager for NHS England. The winning entry is NHS 111 Online Self-Referral for Breast Cancer Diagnostics, and it's Somerset, NHS Foundation Trust and NHS England. And just to do an introduction, as the sponsor, Penny Smee, Chief People and Operations Officer from Flexo AI.
Lovely, thank you. So congratulations, ladies, firstly. I suppose the Digital Innovation Award is very exciting. You know, it's the future of the NHS, isn't it? And this category really was looking at how we improve access for patients, how we improve outcomes, and how do we really sort of look at reducing pressure on staff. All of the regional winners really showed true innovation, and we had all sorts of entries ranging from physiotherapy applications to tracking medical devices around hospitals, which is challenging. So as judges, what we really wanted to see was outcomes, and all of the regional winners showed that. But I think Somerset and the 111 service, what we really saw there was super compelling evidence that they were making a real difference to patients' lives. We were really impressed with the speed and the ability they were giving patients to self-refer themselves, and something that was exceptional in their results was they actually got better outcomes than the original GP referral route that would have been the natural course that you would have taken. I think anyone, particularly women, probably know people who have been touched by breast cancer. And when I read it, I thought, I want access to this service. And I think that's truly what, really stood you apart as being the winners for this. So congratulations, ladies.
Yeah, that was exactly my thought, Penny. Because you worry, you sit at home worrying, you don't want to bother the GP. Exactly. Where did the idea come from, Rosie? Or whose idea was it?
I wouldn't say it was just my idea as such, but if I just talk about the why here, I think that's really important. So breast cancer is one of the leading kind of causes here in the UK, and with cancer, time is of great essence. The earlier the diagnosis, the better the prognosis. And the current model means that if you have any breast cancer symptoms, you must visit your GP first before you can have a referral into secondary care for those diagnostic tests. And that process can add pressure onto those already stretched GP services. It can cause delays to patient care and diagnosis, and I'm sure we've all been there with that 8 a.m. call and trying to get through. And so we wanted to think differently. We wanted to look at how can patients self-refer through existing national infrastructure. And so by enabling that digital front door on NHS 111 line, we are enabling patients to come on, triage, and if they meet that eligibility criteria, they can self-refer into one of our pilot sites. And we're seeing huge impacts of this, and not just for patients, but actually system-wide.
Rosie, explain how it works. So, I'm sitting at home and I can feel a lump. What do I do?
So if you access the 111 online form or go through your NHS app, you answer a series of quite simple questions, your demographics, information, and then sort of questions about what it is that you're experiencing. And if you meet the criteria, you can then self-refer into Somerset Foundation Trust. We receive your referral, and then we would contact the patient to let them know that we have it and that we'll be booking an appointment, and then you're brought into one of our sort of one-stop assessment clinics where you'll see a clinician and have a mammogram, etc. And then if you have cancer, would go through the sort of normal pathway.
So were you seeing vast swathes of worried well? Was it women thinking, oh, maybe there's something wrong, I'm going to use this new pathway?
I think, Rosie, you can probably follow on, but I think one of the greatest concerns that we saw from Trust when we were pitching this idea was that, oh no, this is going to open the floodgates, we won't be able to to cope with this. This will be too much demand. And actually we proved that's not the case. And what's been really, really encouraging is that patients are engaging with this pathway in a really honest manner. They are answering the questions honestly, so that they're not manipulating the answers to get the outcome that they're looking for as such. And actually what we have seen from the data is that the overall demand has not increased. It's very much in line with what a trust would expect. And actually this is a shift from analog to digital.
Which is one, of course.
Which is exactly what the NHS plan calls for.
Exactly. And I'm just looking again at the numbers here. And it has seen a 28% reduction in GP referrals, releasing over 1,000 GP appointments, which is critical at the same time as making sure that women do feel reassured. But how have you been able to analyse how many of those went on to become were a breast cancer?
Yeah, so to date we've had, I think it's just over 1,400 patients come through the service, and of those around 80 patients have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So we track all of those patients.
And how would that fit in with the GP referral model?
So our conversion rate actually on self-referral is slightly higher than that through the GP route. So we are getting the right patients come through that we want to see. How
much does it require GP input? You know, the Somerset GPs aren't going, get off my territory.
The GPs love it. So we actually have several self-referral pathways in Somerset now, and the feedback from GPs is thank you, because if I see a woman in clinic and they've said that they felt a lump and they will still self-refer them, because they know how, that women need to be seen if they've said that they felt a breast lump. So they really love it and they've really welcomed it.
So you started off saying, Shida, that this is breast cancer, but it could be rolled out for other. What are you thinking?
So we are currently exploring lung cancer. Actually, we're in development phase for that. So we're due to go live at the end of summer with a pilot in Leeds, which is really, really exciting. And then How
would that work?
So that would work. So this is an existing self-request chest x-ray service, whereby if you have lung cancer symptoms, you can walk into any one of the 6 sites. But what we are doing is that we are providing that clinical triage up front, and again, ensuring that we will only be sending patients into that service who absolutely need to be there. So it's a very, very similar model that we are building on from breast. And we are also exploring other cancer pathways such as postmenopausal bleeding and head and neck cancers. And I think the list is endless here, and the opportunities.
What do you see as the future? Do you think this is something that could be rolled out?
Definitely. I think there's quite a taboo. Being in secondary care, they thought, if we set up self-referral pathways, we're going to be inundated with the worried well, and that's not what we've experienced. We are seeing the right patients. We're diagnosing cancer. I think this can be applied to all cancer sites, and I think it complements the GP route, and it's another way that patients can access healthcare.
What I like about it is that it almost takes away that paternalism, doesn't it? It's saying, actually, you as the patient, you actually do know your body very well, and that you can take responsibility for some of this.
Absolutely. This really empowers patients, which is absolutely amazing.
Well, I'm very impressed. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.